PXN just launched an entire new sim racing ecosystem. We're talking about multiple wheelbases, fresh new rims, and we got our hands on the top dog. The VD10 wheelbase putting out 10 Newton meters of power, and the WDSR2 wheel with RGB and Hall sensors. All this for under 500 bucks. So let's unbox this setup here and see what PXN's really bringing to the table. Welcome to the Simpit. I'm Shaun and today we are checking out that new ecosystem by PXN where they're bringing in some budget wheelbases, a variety of quick release wheel rims, and all coming in at a price point that is really friendly for budget or starting out sim racers. So what has PXN really launched? Two different wheelbases, starting with the VD10, putting out 10 Newton meters of constant power, 12 Newton meters of peak, and it's only $399. That's the one we'll be testing today. There's also the VD6 coming in at only $329, even less money, putting out 6 Newton meters of constant power. On the wheel rim side, you've got the WAS coming in at 280 millimeters with a real budget starting point of $139, or the WDSR2 300 millimeters with a flat bottom round and some upgraded features, which is $199, and that is the one we'll be testing today. And if bundled with that VD10 wheelbase we'll be testing, comes in at $499 for the package. There's also the WCSR2 rim, 330 millimeters, coming in with even more features and $279 price point. So it is a full lineup of new sim racing equipment that they are putting out today. So we do have two of their stars, and I want to unbox them and get a first look because I have no idea what PXN was doing when they put this together. So we'll get this wheel out of the way real quick, and we'll start off with the base because that's very important. You can see it's nicely packaged in a nice strong box with the PXN logo and a good look at the wheel there. Some of the features printed along the sides and on the back, and let's get into it. It's not light, it's definitely a heavy duty, heavy wheel, and we'll put that right there. On top, we are greeted with a piece of foam. So we'll just toss that out of the way. Ooh, and then we're greeted with a piece of plastic. And then we've got the usual things you'd expect. An instruction manual, a Euro power plug. I don't have Euro plugs. We're not gonna need that. A USB cord for the PC. It is a PC only wheelbase. We've got some mounting hardware and an Allen wrench or a hex screw. A power supply. I would have liked to have seen an American power supply adapter, that's for sure. And then we have the base itself. Dun, dun, dun. All right, let's get cleaned up here so we can get a really good look at this base. I am curious to see what this is all about. This is not what I expected from PXN, to be honest with you. I didn't really see them jumping into the direct drive wheel market, so this is great to see. So first things first, yeah, your typical direct drive wheelbase shape. This is the 10 Newton meters we mentioned. We've got this red stripe on top, which is kind of cool. Got this big beefy quick release with an NRG style look about it. Big beefy collar. Looks like there's an alignment marking right there, which I kind of like. This here feels kind of plastic-y. The rest of it's all metal. This front cover, which has sort of that like disco, it reminds me of a 70s Firebird or 80s Firebird right there with that brushed aluminum or brushed steel look to it, but it feels like it's kind of plastic on that front cap. And then on the side, you've already seen that. We've got the VD10 graphics. On the bottom, we've got what's becoming common. I do love that this is becoming common. Almost all the wheelbases now in the direct drive market are coming out with this spacing right here with some M6 hardware, and you're all set up, dialed in. And then on the back side, let's see, what are we looking at here? We've got a power button, a point for our power supply. We've got a point for our USB. Let's see, no, this one actually says extra. So not sure, maybe something coming in the future, expansion. We've got an e-stop, which I don't have. We've got another extra, pedals. There's also a pedal available for these as well. And that's the one for the PC. So we're gonna have a USB that goes to the PC. It'll go right there. You could actually plug power in. And then one more here for the shifter, which we don't have as well, but maybe in the future we'll test the pedals and the shifter depending on how all this works out. So that's a good look at the base. It's a good looking base. It looks like it. Spinning it, it's smooth. Can I feel detents? Yeah, I feel a little bit of a click, but nothing really holding it up. I mean, if you didn't know to look for it, you wouldn't feel it. You'd be like, oh, that's pretty smooth. If you go real slow and delicate, you can kind of, I mean, it doesn't even fall into one of the spots so much as you can just feel like, yeah, there's a little teeny tiny little click going on there. So real nice, surprising, and a good looking wheelbase. I hope it performs as well as it looks. So the wheel rim that we're gonna match with it today is the WSR2, and again, excuse me, there are 3 different wheel rims available, and let's get a look at this one. So again, starting off with a piece of foam, then we have our instruction manual for that wheel rim. Let's see, we have, oh, I know, these are little rubber pads and an Allen wrench to probably adjust the paddle shifters. Those rubber pads are to quiet. If you don't like the noise of your paddle shifters, you can quiet them down with that. And then, we have a USB cable. I'm not sure why we'll need that for our wheel rim, but we'll see. All right, it's got a nice little cover on it, and a cover, oh, now, let's see here. We have, this can go out of the way. There we go. All right, so we've got sort of a faux leather, like a leather, not suede, so like a hard, slick leather with a red center stripe, red stitching. Looks kind of nice. 300 millimeters. It's kind of smooth. An interesting rev strip. That's the first thing that drew my attention looking at this. Look at this. A V, an upside, this looks very Transformers to me. It's an upside down V or an N shape or an arrow, and it matches the shape of the wheel rim, which if you notice their design, this is sort of like a hub design. So this is actually a hub, because even though it's an aluminum tri-spoke, it's got holes to match the buttons from the hub, which is interesting. So this is an aluminum. The wheel rim feels like it's solid, not solid, but it feels like it's aluminum, not plastic. I'm not getting any flex or twist out of it there. The hub itself is plastic for sure. That feels plastic, that feels plastic. The buttons are of course all plastic. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 white buttons. You could just see and hear. You can see and hear. Very gamey, like a controller, like a hand controller for sure. But that's cool. You got plenty of them and a nice variety. You got 3 on the bottom half of each side, 2 up here on this side with a mini joystick. It's labeled menu. Actually, the labeling is interesting. Share, view, WXBA. R1, R2, R3, L1, L2, L3. So you can see very console thinking, but it's a PC only setup, which is very interesting to me. But that's cool. And then, like I said, a mini joystick here. We've got an encoder left and right. You can, good detents, lots of positions. I don't know how many that is, but that is a lot of positions. And it's got a press in, and the same thing over on this side. I think that takes you pretty much through the whole front. Flat bottom, by the way, round flat bottom. Ergonomics, let's talk ergo. You got our thumb positions, which I don't really use myself very, actually I guess I do sometimes. Nice room for the thumb there. Lots of good functionality there. I mean, I can get all those buttons pretty easily. Encoders even a little bit if I needed to. Oh, this is the magic moment, everyone. You know these moments. We can take our plastic off. Oh, here it goes, come on. Ooh. All right, flipping it over. Ooh, we get another one. Ooh. All right, I'm such a dork. All right, let's see here. What are we looking at on the back? We've got this gold and black NRG style collar up here. Their internal push-in pin wiring in the center of the hub. Little vent for the controller board inside. We've got an alignment line. So we've got an alignment mark there, and we saw the alignment mark there on the base as well. We're looking at 4 paddles on the back, likely aluminum, and aluminum, kind of like a pot metal aluminum for the shifter arms. We've got magnetic paddle shifters up here. pretty short travel. And again, you've got those pads, so if you want to quiet it down, you can. And then we've got levers, kind of short travel for levers, but we got dual levers as well. So if you want to assign them for like look left, launching, or handbrake, or clutch even, you could do any of the above. Little gold accents there. And yeah, a plug-in point for that USB. Yeah, this is a good looking setup. I like the black and red and white. I think it's a good looking color combination. Considering the price, you're looking at $499 for these two items, which is less expensive than any other direct drive wheel that comes to mind. So as long as it performs, we could be looking at some good money savings, and to the point where at $499, it's really hard to recommend many of the gear-driven wheels anymore. This is going to be really taking the legs out of some of those like still expensive direct gear-driven wheels out there, and that could be a really good thing for some beginner sim racers. So that gives you an idea of where PXN is going with their whole ecosystem. It's not just one base, it's multiple bases, multiple wheel rims, and great bundle prices that are really going to shock some of the big names in sim racing. Our next video is going to be a full testing. We're going to check out that force feedback, see how strong it is, see how smooth it is, and see how good those signal forces from the game transmit into this base. So you can look forward to that. And then on August 8th, we're going to have our full review of this setup. So lots more coming on the PXN combo. And I hope you enjoyed this one. This is the Simpit. I'm Shaun Cole, and I'll see you on the track.